Peace and love, everyone. 000 on the clock. Sending you all positive energy, high vibe, success on your entrepreneurship. I love all positivity. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You hit the like button and you leave me any comments or questions in my description below. 222 on the clock. Today, I'm going to be speaking about the ancient origins of the beginning in African spirituality. One of the first mother civilizations that practiced African spirituality. Okay, 4 on the clock. Known to be the beginning is a place called Ethiopia in the northern east, okay, where they did homage to Amun-Ra and homage to Nut. When we deal with Amun-Ra, he have one of the largest monuments in Kemet, and it's symbolic to him resonating with 12 stones. That is symbolic to him going through the 12 constellations. Okay, so every 2,155 years, Ra stayed in a constellation. Okay, so it made it a 26,000 period of the great year. Okay, and the calculations came from the Kemetic god named Himotep. Okay, so in Ethiopia, it's known as the beginning where all ceremonial events was. And the ancient ancestors created culture, and they transmitted the culture all down the Nile. Okay, so I'm going to show you all pictures. So when we think of the Kemetic goddess by the name of Nut, they show homage. So it was a temple of Nut giving birth to Amun-Ra, and the place known to be the mother in Ethiopia. Okay, now Nut's story goes as she swallows the sun at night, and she gives birth to the sun every rising. So Nut is seen as a goddess, color blue, arched across the sky, symbolic to the constellation, symbolic to the stars in the sky, in her body. Also symbolic to Amun-Ra. So Nut shows us that after death, there's always life, death, and rebirth. And if we are not happy with the choices and decisions we made the day before, we have another day to be reborn again like Amun-Ra. Okay, so that's what Nut's story showed us. She was the goddess of love, fertility, the divine connections of the heavens, because she's color blue. Also, she's symbolic to the constellation, and she also is known to be the great mother of many different netters. Okay, so we have a place called the beginning. When we deal with the beginning, it's symbolic to where everything begun. Okay, and they had a tribe by the name of the Twa people. They're known to be really small people, under 5 feet, coming from the Congo tribe, saying that they navigated from the uterus, okay, and migrated throughout Kemet. Okay, they migrated from the fallopian tube, okay, and they also wore a hat, and it was symbolic to the Uranus. Okay, and they're known to be the first African civilization. So in Kemet, it's known to be the beginning, also known to be called the best. 5:15 was just on the clock, and it's symbolic to the beginning. So they're known to be the grandfather and grandmother of Kemet, where the Twa, the Congo tribe, resides. Okay, the Twa also has another story that they derive from the actual Irish word. Okay, and they are the true Irish people, and they land and they got defeated and invaded, and they were living for over 10,000 years, and they were the beginning. And the whole celebration of St. Patrick's Day was made and derived from the Twa and them being defeated. Okay, so we have two different allegories, but I have noticed what they all boil up to is the Twa being the beginning, one of the first ancient African civilizations to be on the planet in the northeast. Okay, so the story about they are the original Irish. Okay, and they were known to be forest people was one story. They also wore the Uranus head symbol on their head. We're dealing with the Uranus head symbol. It's symbolic to traditions worldwide celebrating that as well. Okay, always be familiar with that. So we have Kemet as the daughter. Okay, so basically what the ancient ancestors did was they created beautiful statues and monuments, and also they spiritual journeys, and they placed them in pylons. Pylons is known to be the ancient stories of the books. So as we look at the ancient books and we walk into Kemet, they are symbolic to the pylons being those ancient books and stories. Okay, so as I dive deep, I have the understanding of African spirituality and how it's showing us to perceive a greater level of consciousness, to see how our ancient ancestors, 8:18 on the clock, navigated throughout Kemet. Okay, they were deep into spiritual science, the study of the stars, the moon, the pyramids, the structures and monuments, the sun, the moon, all had a specific meaning, and it was connected to the creation of the buildings and monuments. Okay, always be familiar with that. So they navigated down the Nile, navigating their cultural, spiritual science. So they began at the beginning, the grandfather, known to be the Twa, 5 feet. Small little people, under 5 feet. Okay, they small, and I have a picture of them as well. Then we have the mud. The mother is known to be Cush. Okay, also known by the name of Tia. In Ethiopia, that they had all the ceremonial events. Okay, now in African descent, Ra, huge connection with the 12 stones and the 12 constellation is known by Ram Himuyik and is known by Greek mythology as the Sphinx. Okay, so as we look at the dollar bill, it's a pyramid. Okay, and it has an eye in the middle. That is symbolic to the celebration and the remembrance of Amun-Ra, his connection with the sun, okay, and him going through every constellation, every 2,155 years, okay, making great ages for each constellation, okay, and it's symbolic to the ancients navigating through that eye, a Ra Horm Acuit, okay, Ra Horm Acuit. I'm going to say it again so I can invoke the power. And it's symbolic to them navigating, traveling, transmitting energy, and also receiving a great power from Amun-Ra, the sun, because it resonates with the pyramids as well. Okay, they were all built for perfect alignment. So we had the star system of star series connecting with Orion's belt, and the brightest star in the northern eastern. Okay, then we had the three kings, and they all lined up. Three kings, three pyramids, three star system, Orion's belt, star series. They all had to be in a correct balance, 12-12. So nothing would disrupt the earth. Okay, so as I spoke about the Ka and the Ba, okay, the Ka is symbolic to the physical body, and the Ba is symbolic to mummification, the soul that dwells within us, and the spirit of the God that dwells within. Okay, so in ancient Kemet, they had a picture of the dancing Ka, and the dancing Ka was symbolic to the gods being free from all bondage once they tap into their true divinity and the God that dwells within them. The Ka is actually seen on the temple in Kemet, dancing with one leg up and one arm up, symbolic to them being free from bondage. And it puts us in the remembrance 333 of the great legends that walked the earth, who rose above oppression, and they tapped into their true divinity, and they was a light to the collective consciousness. They were stoic. They helped individual raise their level of consciousness, and they fought for freedom. So in African spirituality, the concept was to show us that we all have a God that dwells within us, 1414 on the clock. We have to break free from all restraints, from bondage, and rise, okay, and be free like the dancing Ka. So the Ba is symbolic to mummification, symbolic to transcending from the cocoon and the caress, turning into a beautiful butterfly and creating metamorphosis. And it's to show us to have the understanding of the mind, the body, and spirit as a whole. And to know that we're going to face those physical experiences. And there also we can go inside internally and find out who we are, 15 on the clock, and find out our ancient origins to help us have soul evolution, to perceive a higher level of consciousness, and to tap into our creativity. So, as they had the ceremony of the opening of the mouth, it shows us that the spirits die, but they also are reborn again. And as we perform the opening of the mouth ritual, by honoring the ancient ancestors, the legends that was here before us, that walked the earth, and they tapped into their true divinity of the dancing Ka, to be free, to live in our own individuality, to be creative, to perceive a higher level of consciousness, and don't let our past and our physical experiences hinder our growth, but to continue on our path. And as we have the knowledge of our ancient origins, all the temples and structures and monuments and the spiritual science, once we become aware of that, we create the opening of the mouth, because we are honoring the ancient ancestors. We are invoking the powers of the spirits that lives eternally. So always be mindful that the great legends that rose above oppression, they are not dead. They continuously live, 17 on the clock, through us and through the spirit of the universe. Because as we speak their name and as we learn the ancient knowledge, we awaken them and we give them nourishment of the soul, because we are showing them appreciation. We are honoring them. We are learning the knowledge that was here before us. And once we do, we have that divine power that eternally lives and lives throughout us and also outside of us. Okay, so we had the story of Khufu. He had the largest boat in human history, and he showed us his spiritual journey by him discovering he could transform by traveling from the solar now to the celestial now to the Milky Way to his spiritual father Asor. Okay. Also, we had, who else? Himmelten, one known to be the Grand Master. He created the first staircase to heaven, showing his spiritual journey. Okay, showing him being able to ascend to a higher level of consciousness. One of the first known to be the greatest master healers, master astrologists, okay, master builder as well. Then we had the story of Amun-Ra going through the 12 constellations, resonating with the 12 stones. Okay, and us having an understanding of spiritual discernment. After death, there's always life, because Ra rises every rising and gives us a chance to be reborn again. He also shows us the energies of the 12 constellations. and the energy of the great year periods, the equinoxes, the solstices, which was created by Hamilton, the Grand Master. Then we have the goddess Nut. She shows us after death, there's always life. And if we are not happy with the choices and decisions we made the day before, we can always be reborn again. We can transcend from mummification and become the beautiful butterfly and create metamorphosis. That's what mummification was symbolic to in Kemet. Us being removed from all bandage, okay, all restraints, and being free, flying, rising like the dancing car. Always be familiar with that. I love you all. I'm sending you all positive energy and high vibes, success on your entrepreneurship, all love, all positivity. I love you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. You hit the like button and you leave me any comments or questions on my description below. 21:21 on the clock. And I'm rocking my beautiful ancient crown that I created myself. Okay. And it's a part of my clothing line, Limitless. Okay. I love it. Okay. It took me a while to make it, but it's known to be the golden crown. I love you, and I'll be back with more. Peace and love.